Hello, fellow psychology and gamer nerds. My name is Brian Hamilton. I have received a few requests from people to go more into depth about how to use tabletop RPGs in session. So, today I thought I would go over a group treatment plan that I put together for how to use tabletop RPGs in session. Your first session should be about getting to know your clients. In addition to getting to know their names and some of the issues that they're struggling with, you'll want to get a sense of what types of games they're interested in. Are they interested in traditional fantasy worlds, gritty modern-day settings, dystopian futures, or superhero adventures? Another thing you'll want to consider is the age and capability of your clients. If you have younger clients or ones who aren't too familiar with role-playing games, you'll probably want to select a role-playing game with simple rules that don't require a lot of reading or math. Two of my favorites are the Hero Kids and School Days RPGs, which I have covered in previous videos. If you are working with older kids and teens, you can consider RPGs that may have more complex rules, such as Dungeons & Dragons, D20 Modern, Pathfinder, Starfinder, GURPS, or Savage Worlds. For clinicians who are looking for games that are less combat-oriented, you can adapt many of the more common systems to focus on intrigue, investigation, and cooperation. You might also take a look at systems that are less combat-focused, such as Primetime Adventures, where the goal of the players is to create a television show, or Golden Sky Stories, a game where you play anime characters where violent acts are forbidden and even can be punished. Personally, I have created a variant rule system for Hero Kids, where the heroes must cure the creatures they encounter of Taint, a magical malady that drives those infected insane, link in the description below. This has allowed me to run games that still have that intensity of combat, but without the violence. There are a lot of ways you can go about world creation. One way is to simply create a blank map and have the clients fill it in with cities, countries, and wilderness locations. Another way is to make the world creation process part of the game. For example, if you're running sessions in a fantasy world, you can have your clients take on the roles of deities who are active in the world's creation. If you're running a cyberpunk game, the clients might take on the roles of CEOs for various corporations. If you are running a gothic horror campaign for your clients, you might have them pretend to be elder evils who wish to destroy the world and who have different cults and factions who are interested in bringing their goals to fruition. In this session, your clients will create characters who represent their ideal selves. If they struggle with social anxiety, they might create a character who is charismatic and popular. If they struggle with depression, they might create a character who is optimistic and cheerful. If clients are struggling with this exercise, you might use common personality assessment tools such as the Myers-Briggs assessment. You might also use online quizzes that are commonly available, such as what kind of D&D character are you? Link in the description below. The purpose of this, though, should be to have them think about what their ideal selves would be and how they would respond to these assessment tools rather than the way that they are currently. The fourth session is all about creating an adventure with your clients. During this process, it's helpful to ask your clients questions about what they want their characters to do. Are they fighting a dragon or a gang of street thugs? Does the adventure take place on a space station or another plane of existence? What do they need to complete their task? Who might be able to help them? What sorts of encounters might they have along the way? And what sorts of rewards await them if they succeed? The majority of your sessions are going to be focused on your clients playing their characters and completing the adventure that they came up with. As the therapist, you will act as the storyteller, introducing the clients to the various creatures and difficulties that they decided that they wanted to encounter. If you are running games in person, you will likely want a vinyl mat, wet markers, pencils, dice, character sheets, and miniatures to represent the characters. If you are playing online, you will likely want to use a tabletop simulator like Fantasy Grounds or Roll20 to run your games. If the players complete an adventure, you can always do another adventure creation session together to decide what happens next. During each session, the clinician will observe how the clients interact with one another. The assessment tool shown here was developed by clinician M.D. Bellows and is useful for identifying target behaviors that the clinician might want to address in-game. That said, there are other, more common assessments, such as the ASQs, the Beck Depression Inventory, or the GAD-7, that might also be appropriate depending on your clients and your clinic's needs. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to be notified when I upload new videos, please hit subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in therapy.